Yes, sir. What is the word, y'all? Moon's back again on this Saturday. You know how we coming. High Stakes Takes back with another one. Ooh, where they at? Yo, it's been a crazy morning so far already. Going out, making moves, making sure I got my monsters for the day. So we out here zooming, locked in, cashed in. Shout out Solo last night, hitting the nets, coming back. And yo, he said he was gonna bet Josh Allen to throw a pick, right? I was like, cause sometimes I have feelings. If I guess the correct odds, I'll be like, ooh, I'm sketchy about that one. I was like, yo, if that's minus 125, I'd be a little sketched out about it. I go over there, I look at it, and I'm just talking off the top. I haven't looked at Josh Allen's interceptions this week. Like, especially against the Bucks. Everyone was just probably thinking the over in that one. I come over here, look at passing. Total interceptions, minus 125. Absolutely insane. So I told that man, be careful. That was his thing he's locked in for this week. NFL Week 14. Last week of fantasy. Going into the playoffs. Oh my God, it's going to be a hectic season. Some news I heard over the weekend regarding the pod. And wanted to shout out everyone who's listening, everyone who's subscribed, everyone who's following for all the next picks. We over here cooking. And some great news that I heard. We was just chilling, right? All of a sudden we get a text. Evening, man, the Uber driver I just had asked me to put in a request for some boxing material. I was like, what you talking some boxing material? I get a heavy bag or something. You need some gloves or something? What's the word? I was like, what's that mean? He goes, on a pod, bro. Those fight picks. I was like, oh, word. Good looks. I appreciate that, man. Last week I picked some UFC fights. I went 3-1. And check out last Saturday's episode. We went crazy. Hit us all over. Make sure you go check it out if you fuck with it. Like the episode. Every time we hit a lock, you'll see the shit pop up. Boom. You got the game that it is, and you got the pick right there. Let's get it. And then I said that I told him you'd likely be around hype season. I don't know if I made myself look like an ass out there because this man don't really know boxing. And he was like, I'll pass the word along. The man said he wanted to get into sports betting. I told him to look up the pod, but he was already subscribed. Let's go. I already subscribed to the pod. I don't know who it is, but think about the odds of that. Some random dude, right? That I met at my last spot. I was just about to say it. Almost fucked up. But met at my last spot, right? Hella into the stocks. Mad smart with it. Bruh, all of a sudden, he needs an Uber ride. Months later, from something random. I Uber, but it wasn't me. And then all of a sudden, the Uber driver's talking about how he wants to get into sports betting, this, that. He goes, oh, you should check out this pod. My boy got some shit rocking over there. And he's already subscribed. Shout out whoever that is. Keep rocking with it. We do have a boxing lock for y'all today. Lomachenko versus Richard Comey. I think it's a guaranteed lock. It's going to be a hell of a fight. If it don't hit, I'll be like, dead ass. But let's get it. That just pushes the grind even harder. And y'all see the notes when I show it a little bit here and there throughout the pod. If it's like an old pick. But I'll just show it right now. Shit. Like, the notes are serious. It's serious. I look through all the games, like all this shit, I'll look into it. But if Rhode Island Sportsbook doesn't have the bet, I'm obviously not going to cover it. Because then you got to go into like Bovada or some other sketchy shit, .lv. I'm giving out the sauce if you don't want to use Rhode Island. But let's get into it. Not right into it. I think we about 10 minutes in or something. But first lock of the day. Belgian First League. Who we got? Let me get that. Where's the drum roll? Hit some bongos for the kid. Hold on, one more time. Hit her with it. Oh shit. Pop a little. Pull that thing. Let's get it. First lock of the day, Sarang. At home versus Anderlecht. Now, Sarang, 15th place. This game's at 2:45. Belgian First League. Got each team dealing with injuries. But these squads just met. Just met November 30th. It was in the cup, which there could have been some backups in there. That's why there were so many goals. But when you have 6 goals, 7 total, I think it only shows 7 total because they won on pens. Not really 7 total. But 6 total goals. The last meeting, back in August, 3 goals. Anderlecht at home. But if you look at Anderlecht as of late, gave up 2 to Wagram. Sarang just gave up 3. Gave up 1 on the road to Charleroi. Gave up 2 on the road to Antwerp. And you see Antwerp. Decent team, but only 30 goals. When you compare it, Anderlecht got 4 more. Royal Union, sneaky team in the Belgian league. 43 goals for, 18 given up. Damn. Out there balling. That's one of the biggest surprises if you go over there, talk what them folks are talking about in the Belgian league. But Anderlecht, 7-7-3 on the year, sitting 5th place. They are coming off that, close victory. They were probably favored by a goal and a half. But Sarang, only 1 win over the last 5 games. And with 6 goals against over the past 2, I'm thinking Sarang is going to give up goals left and right. And Club Brugge, they're obviously going to score. 4 straight with 2+ goals against. Locking the over 2.5. You know there's going to be goals left and right. When you come over here and you look at Josh Allen's total picks. But you come over here, you look at over 3.5. Added market bet. Now last week, added market bet in that Bayern Munich Dortmund. Hit the 5 goals. I think that was around plus 200 odds. Come on. And then now over 3.5 plus 135. Guaranteed lock. Lock it in. Along with the over 2.5 for our first couple locks of the day. Let's go. Let's have a day. Spilled the fucking monster on like the corner of my notes this morning. Thought I was gonna fuck up and go through all the pages. You see that shit? A little moisture. A little moisture in the corner. So the next game we got over in Ligue 1. We got Brest at home versus Montpellier. Now, this is a battle between the 8th and 9th team over in Ligue 1. Go over here, look at it a little closer. This game's at 11 o'clock. Each team dealing with a few injuries. But Brest coming off 6 straight wins. Now they're at home. Montpellier, when they don't play a top team, they pretty much get results. We see them versus Lyon, lost by 1 at home. Granted, they're at home, so they probably kept it close. And Rennes, on the road, lost 2-0. Probably could have been more than that. Got a red card in the 41st. Didn't end up giving up any more goals. But, 30-4 on shots. Damn. But you look at the meeting. You got Brest, 3 straight home wins with clean sheets. And that was versus Lens and Monaco. You come over here, look at the standings. Lens sitting 5th, Monaco sitting 7th. You know those are both 2 top teams, probably going to finish in European play, depending how Nice does and how Marseille does. Marseille up and down, only 14 goals given up, but they don't play the best and score the most goals. Especially with Payet and Malik, they should definitely be scoring more. So this game, we got the over at minus 135. Now, we'll check if that... Make sure you get these in early because they're definitely going to switch. Especially this one. Maybe not the Brest over, but Might have shifted odds, but it's probably not going to go to 3.5. See, from minus 135 to minus 125, I think there's going to be goals left and right. It probably shifted down because Brest, 3 straight home clean sheets. But I think Montpellier scoring the same amount of goals as Brest this year. They literally have the same goals for and goals against with 25-23. I'm thinking Montpellier, only 2 wins on the road this season with 2+ goals against in 5 of their 8 away games. They're going to give up goals. I think Brest is guaranteed to win this game. We got to lock in, which I didn't have it written down, but just looking at it, Brest is going to dominate this game at home. We're going to lock in Brest plus, which was 112, it's plus 111 now. I don't know what they're doing, but we'll lock in that and the over. First 3 locks of the day, plus $500. Not bad at all. Let's see what we could get the 10-teamer up to. Let's go. Let's go. UFC 269 tonight. Poirier versus Oliveira. Come on. Could Oliveira put him in that hard scarf that Theo Von be talking about? Or could the Louisiana bad boy come out there and sauce him? You never know. It's going to be a hell of a fight. And then you got Tai Tuivasa. We talking bam out there with the shoeies. Come on, Rogan. You got to get one in. One in before that man stops fighting in the UFC, for real. And he's unranked coming into this. You know, Bam Bigelow gonna get after it. Let's go. Early lock. I think that's minus 115 each way. But the next lock we got in soccer. Bayern Munich at home versus Mainz. For minus 475 to minus 490, you got Mainz plus 1100 to plus 1200, shifting just a little bit. But ooh, Bayern Munich, get them minus 1.5 when you can. They're at home. They're coming off a 3-0 win at home versus Barcelona. Barcelona they probably could have lost by more. And that was in the Champions League. I don't even think Bayern needed to really win that game. They already dominated that group. And coming off 5 straight wins at home with 15 goals for on that streak, and it won 7 out of their last 8 meetings. Come on. Bayern's guaranteed to win this game. I'll take them minus 1.5. And with Mainz coming off 3-0 win versus Wolfsburg. But Wolfsburg, they've been losing and giving up goals left and right. So I'm looking at Mainz losing 3 out of their last 4 away games. And 27 total goals between these two teams over their last 5 meetings. That's a 5.4 average. Added market bet over 4.5, just possibly. The over 3.5 shifted from minus 125 to minus 110. Usually that means the money's going in on the under. But Mainz, only 14 goals against. That's 1 less goal than Bayern. That's probably what they're looking at. But I think Bayern, they're going to have those matches here and there, like we seen and predicted versus Freiburg. Correct score of 2-1. I think that was plus 900 odds. But I don't think this is going to be that match. You got Mainz sitting in 7th. On the brink of European play, but it's early in the season. We just before halfway through. And I think Bayern's really going to just pad that lead. I'm taking them minus 1.5. And I'm taking the over 3.5. And with the added market bet probably shifting up. But look at the 4.5. It was plus 185 just like last week. Now it's plus 200 just like last week. Could it be the same? I like that over 4.5 added market bet. I think Bayern Munich's going to come out. Lewandowski hat trick maybe. Leroy Sané just scoring fucking bangers from outside the box. Come on, let's lock it in. The next one we got, as I flip these moist pages, still in the Bundesliga, at 9:30, along with that Bayern Munich game, we got Bochum plus 500 at home versus Dortmund. Now Dortmund minus 200 to minus 215 now. This is a game where Bochum, 6-1-7 on the year, 22 goals given up, only scored 15. Dortmund, sitting in second, 10-0-4 on the year. No draws. Either they're winning or they're losing. 35 goals for, 22 given up. So, same amount of goals given up as Bochum. I don't know if they'll give up a goal. Maybe because they're going on the road, they'll give up a goal. But the over-under sitting at 3.5. Is it still there? See, shifting from plus 110 to plus 120. This might be one I stay away from. I know I wrote it down after. My guaranteed lock, now the handicap is -1.5. That might be a little tough, but Erling Haaland, he was just rested in the last game. And that was probably because, and he came on in like the 69th minute, scored like 4 minutes later, and then scored another goal. Come on, 2 goals within like 20 minutes? Crazy. But Dortmund, resting him in the last game, they're going to want to get points to try to keep up with Bayern Munich. Going on the road versus Bochum, I think they're guaranteed to get the win here. They won their last away game in the Bundesliga, 3-1 at Wolfsburg. So I think they'll get the job done. Bochum, 3 straight home wins, which a little sketchy, but I don't think each team dealing with a plethora of fucking injuries. Dead ass. But Bochum at home, 3 straight home wins. That's solid. I mean, 5 straight. Oh, that's a club friendly. See, 5-4. We gonna add that to the mix. But beat Frankfurt, beat Hoffenheim, beat Freiburg, Augsburg in the DFB Pokal, 2-2 draw. Ended up winning on either penalties or extra time goal. Looked like they won on penalties. See, I think they'll give up goals. I don't know if Bochum will end up scoring. They've scored what? Ooh, that's a good stat right there. They scored 2+ goals in 4 straight home games. So, does the over hit? We actually now, since we've seen that, over 3.5, which is plus 120 odds now. I have it written down at plus 110. In Dortmund, I think they'll get the win here. -215, but that might shift up and down. I know the coach, Erling Haaland, was tight when he came off last game. Heated when he came off versus Bayern. But sometimes you can't just rush him back. You can't just rush those players back, you know? Young player, fucking one of the best in the world already. And he's coming back after a decent layoff. And the last time he came back, he got injured again. So they got to be careful with him. He has to understand that even though it's a big game versus Bayern, he could probably do some work. But be smart about it. You have a long season, and you never know how the shit going to play out. So my locks for that Dortmund game, I think they get it done. I think Haaland starts. And the next game, the last game in the Bundesliga for today, we got RB Leipzig at home versus Mönchengladbach. Now, shout out high stakes takes last weekend. Rijeka, I don't even know if they, that was the week before. Last week, Wolves versus Liverpool. Liverpool got a late winner. We ended up hitting that plus 180 live. Divock Origi. Give it up for that, man. Barcelona versus Betis. See, that was a game we got to look at where post-Messi era, be careful of all the latest stats regarding goals because they don't have Messi. It's going to be tough with a new coach, and especially when you don't have top players. I heard one of the analysts, which all the analysts in soccer are usually former players, so you can't really talk about them because they're in that position for a reason. But I think he was talking about Memphis Depay and talking about how they're a Champions League team without Champions League players. And then mentioned Memphis Depay right away. I think that boy, he's an absolute beast. Absolute animal. I won't call him world class. He has world class moments, straight bangers. But come on, he's definitely Champions League level. Like, and that's at the very least. He's an absolute stud. If he came over to Liverpool, I fuck with Jota, but you don't think he'd start over Diego Jota? Come on. That's Memphis Depay, bro. Come on. So, little things to look at. And then we hopped into Napoli versus Atalanta. Took Atalanta to cover a half. Plus the over 2.5. Ended up winning 3-2. Hell of a game. Obviously hit the over 3.5 with the pick we posted there. But when I drop the Saturday show, make sure you click that because all the locks are on the podcast. I'll only drop a few on that because you can't just type in the notes and get all the locks on there. I got too many. Haha. But Tottenham in the over 2.5 hit a Gladbach versus Freiburg, and that's leads us right into our next lock for today. They got fucking smoked at home. They were down like 6-0 within what? It was definitely in the first half. I think it was within like a half hour. Down 6-0 to Freiburg at home. Fucking A, man. that was absolutely insane to see. But leads us right into our next lock. Leipzig coming off a 2-1 win versus Man City, sitting minus 135. Now, did that shift? Still minus 135. Gladbach minus 330 to plus 330 to now plus 350. They're going on the road, coming off that 6-0 loss, plus 10 goals against over their last 2 games. I think there's only one lock for this game. Actually, over under at 3.5. Could it be? Ooh, I like that. We'll update that. 2.5. Come on. You got Gladbach. Last time on the road, lost 4-1 at Coin. And you see Coin, they just lost, 2-0 at home versus Augsburg yesterday? Come on. Leipzig, 4-1-1 over their last 5 home games. Have won 5 of the last 7 meetings versus Gladbach. And that's whether they're home or away. I think this is a guarantee. Over 2.5. I think they'll absolutely dominate. I'm going to take Leipzig minus a half just to get that minus 130. And I'm going to take the over 2.5, which at minus 155, I usually never see that, so it's a little sketchy. And the under at plus 122, I almost never see that either, so a little sketchy for the over-under. Some of those ones you're like, oh, that's guaranteed to drop from 3.5 to 2.5. It's definitely going to hit 3 goals, especially if I thought it was going to hit 4. Be a little skeptical about it. We'll take it away, maybe a 2-0 victory. I wish it was added market bets where you could take Leipzig minus 1.5. That's probably at like plus 180 odds. But Rhode Island Sportsbook still catching up to the times. The next lock, let's jump over to the Premier League, where we got Chelsea at home versus Leeds. Now this is one where I almost didn't write it down, right? So maybe be a little bit skeptical about this one too. Chelsea sitting 3rd in the table. Those games at 10 o'clock. They're 10-3-2. 35 goals for, 9 given up compared to Leeds. 22 goals given up, only scored 15. Leeds 3-7-5 on the year. Dealing with injuries this year, but played well over the past 2 seasons since getting promoted. But 3-7-5 on the year, sitting 15th. They're close to relegation. They're going to have to start taking points from games. I don't think this is going to be the game they do that. They're off a 2-2 draw versus Brentford and only 1 win on the road this season. They lost 3 out of their last 4 versus Chelsea with a 9-2 goal difference. I think Chelsea dominates this game. We took a money line last week. They did not cover a minus 1.5 spread. I think it's minus 1.5 right now. Minus 140 odds. It's a little sketchy, but Leeds giving up 2 to Brentford. I think that might be a key stat. Chelsea off a 3-3 draw at Zenit in the Champions League. That was a tough game. Lukaku started all their top dogs. They finished 2nd in Group H because they couldn't get a result on the road. I think they're going to be wanting to come out battling. They're going to be at home. 6 goals against over their last 2 games, but they are returning home where they're unbeaten over their last 7. So I think Chelsea will get the win here. from minus 420 to minus 430. If you add it to the parlay, right, plus 3,000, jump it up 700. So add it to the parlay, minus 430. We'll go off the cuff. We'll take a minus 1.5 because it is a 9-2 goal difference over their last 4 meetings. So maybe, but the next lock we got, Liverpool. This is the biggest game of the weekend. Liverpool at home versus Aston Villa. Steven Gerrard playing or coaching Aston Villa, but going against his old team who he used to play for. Huge game. Klopp, a lot of respect for him, obviously. There's so much respect in soccer, especially for all the top dogs and who you played in the clubs and all that shit. It's dope as fuck, the atmosphere and whatnot. But Liverpool, second in the table, 10-4-1, 44 goals for. 44? Oh. Damn. Coming off 6 straight wins with 4 straight clean sheets at home. But Aston Villa, sitting 10th in the table, been a gritty team this year. Picking up Gerrard, who is going to have... You aren't going to get the formation and the tactics right away. So it's going to be a little bit of time. They are coming off a 2-1 win versus Leicester. And they won their first away game with Gerrard, 2-1 at Palace. But only held 37% of possession versus Palace. Liverpool would definitely dominate possession in this game. I think this will be a little bit of a rude awakening for Gerrard. And Gerrard knows it's not easy. Coached over in the Scottish League, right? Coach Rangers, which is one of the top teams, I think the top team over in the Scottish Premiership. And I'm thinking, it's tough. Only holding 37% of possession versus Palace. Palace is not really a team. That means Villa is counterattacking a lot. It's going to leave them open. There's been 38 total goals between Villa and Liverpool over the past 8 meetings. And it's hit over 3.5 in 5 out of the last 8. I'm going to lock in the over 3.5, which did a shift. Liverpool from minus 450 to minus 400. I think people are really on that. Gerrard returning, he might get a result. I don't think it's going to play out like that. Total goals at 3.5. Still at plus 100. That hasn't shifted at all. I think that will hit. We're going to add it in. And we're going to take Liverpool minus 1.5 to get a dominant victory. And added market bet correct score 3-1. Where's that one at? Plus 900, not bad. A couple weeks ago, predicted the correct score on that Munich versus Freiburg 2-1. And it only was because Freiburg, I think in like the 90th minute, had an ill turn inside the box on a long ball. Scored the fucking cracker. I think it hit the corner. Absolute ill goal. But Liverpool 3-1 will probably be the result. Plus 900, not bad. Don't say I didn't tell you so. So 9 locks already. We up to plus 13,000 odds. Ooh, wait. Ooh, wait. Let's go. So the next lock we got for y'all. Where we headed to? 12:30. We got Norwich versus Man United. Now Man United off a 1-0 win in their last Premier League game in Ralph Rangnick's first game as head coach. Held 61% of possession. Dominated shots 16-8. I'm thinking they come out in this game. They rested all their top players. Didn't even have them on the bench. In their last Champions League game, they won Group F. 3 straight Premier League wins at Norwich. And Norwich, coming off a 3-0 loss at Tottenham, sit dead last. They're probably, almost positive they're the favorite to be fucking relegated. Not the best thing. Not the best thing at all. But especially after signing some top players, right? Sargent, not top players, but I think they got Buendia. Sargent, or they sold, but they picked up some folks. Ozan Kabak, had some sneaky players in there. But Norwich, what the fuck? Sitting dead last? You've given up 31 goals on the year. 3-0 loss at Tottenham, and Tottenham doesn't really score goals like that. Only one win over their last 7 games at home. We're losing 4 of those. Come on. Man United, I think the guarantee to get the win is going on the road. So it might be sketchy with the goals. The over-under at 2.5, which from -140 to still -140. Hasn't shifted yet. This game's at 12:30, so it might shift a little bit. But I'm going to take Man United. Man United, are they still -1.5? I'll take, and that's another +122 to -155 odds. It's a little sketchy. I haven't really seen that too often. Is this a new thing? Always looking for new trends, right? So I'm going to lock them in -1.5, +122 odds, and like the over-under in that Leipzig game, I think it was +122 to hit the under. Another one of those odds shifted. I'm thinking Man United. Ronaldo will probably start, especially after being rested. Gonna dominate on the road versus Norwich. And the over 2.5, do I fuck with it? Over 2.5, -140 odds. Let's go. I think Man United will dominate on the road. Let's just check, make sure there's no random injuries that popped up. No Pogba, Cavani. That was expected, but Wan-Bissaka, that popped up recently. I think they might be careful with him, but they have folks on the bench. The squad depth is ridiculous, for real. So the next one we got. What's the last couple soccer locks of the day? Over in Serie A, 9 o'clock, Fiorentina, -340. This guaranteed shift to the -400. Unless there's injuries, come on. Where is it? -355. It's going to keep jumping up, especially after lineups drop. They're sitting 6th in Serie A, 27 goals for it, but they have given up 22. But Salernitana, +900 underdogs. Dead last in Serie A. Only 2-2-12 on the year. Only one win on the road off a 2-0 loss at AC Milan and have given up 33 goals this year. Damn. But the key stat for this one. Let me get some bongos on that. Random. 11 goals for, bro. Come on, Nitana. 11 goals? 11 goals? You have more matches played than goals. Come on. And yeah, we looked at Norwich. Only 8 goals for. You ain't even in double digits yet. You ain't in double digits? Come on. So, I think this game, you got Fiorentina, 5-0-2. Only 2 losses at home this year. Coming off a 3-2 win on the road versus Bologna, and it's always tough going on the road. And Fiorentina, they're either winning or they're losing. There's going to be goals in the game. Nitana might get one random goal. The over-under sitting at 2.5. I think that'll probably shift to 3.5. It went from -150 to another one of those, -155 to +122. I don't like those, man. I'm telling you. Maybe Fiorentina, even though Salernitana has given up 33 goals, maybe they win 3-1. But those odds shifting like that, I don't like that. I haven't seen that before. So we're going to lock in, especially with Fiorentina, 4 straight home wins with over 3 goals for per game on the home streak. We locking in Fiorentina -1.5 to dominate. And the over 2.5, even though those odds are a little weird, we're going to take the over 2.5, -155. And I wrote down Sporting, -1.5 versus Boavista. They were -550. And usually you'll see that shift to 2.5, which makes me stay away from it. But we'll just check it out once more. Let's see it over here. Portugal. Where they at? There y'all are. Oh, the -520, so that definitely didn't shift. And the over -1.5 shifted from -170 for them to win by 2 goals to -160. Not drastic, but once you notice it shifting, I think they come out, they get that victory, especially at home. Boa Vista is a team which plus 1,700. I actually forget exactly why I picked them. Right, they're missing Paulinho, Palhinha, and Coates. Cabral, he's been out. Vinagre. I mean, standings Boa Vista though. Only 16 goals for. They've given up 23, which is a fair amount for this league. Sitting in 11th, Sporting second. Sporting coming off what? Yeah, they give up 4, but dominated Benfica on the road. What? Last three home games, 2+ goals. Damn, and dominated actually last 4 home games, 2+ goals. Dominating at home. Yeah, they're guaranteed to win by lock them in. -1.5 for Sporting to get the victory at home. And let's get it. Last lock of the day. Even though we wish the Revs win this one. MLS Cup, Portland Timbers. Now let's see the live odds on it. It hadn't dropped. It hadn't dropped on RI Sportsbook. But let's see if we can pick it out of thin air here. Let's go. Hadn't dropped before. And it's weird, you can't just click on MLS and it'll give you the odds right there. That just shows you. But where's it at? Oh, there it is. New York City FC plus 160 to win. Portland Timbers at home plus 180. 3-0 in the playoffs off back-to-back clean sheets for Portland. They've won 7 out of their last 8 home games, including 4 straight. But New York City FC, they've been gritty this year. Have won back-to-back playoff games on the road. Granted, needed penalties to beat the Revs. Hectic game. But Castellanos missing last game because he got the red card versus the Revs in extra time. And then New York City FC still battling. And Philly, they could have easily won that game, had chances. But New York City FC just capitalized on their opportunities late. Scored, I'm pretty sure, off a horrible play. And I don't want to get on them too bad, but it was bad, man. It was bad. Ball over the top, trying to read, fend off the defender, and then get the ball under control. Dude just did a loop on him, right in on net. So, not the best play. Over 2.5 at plus 115. Come on, I think that's a guaranteed lock. And with New York City FC, 2 goals for in each game in the playoffs. Unbeaten over their last 8 games. You got 2 teams who on unbeaten streaks, winning games left and right. I mean, you got to give it to them, right? Not always are the 2 top teams always playing either the Super Bowl or the Cup, final, or all that. But you got to give it up to them. New York City FC getting a huge win last game without Castellanos. Castellanos back in the lineup. I think there's going to be goals left and right. I think Portland, I think they'll maintain. I think it finishes a 2-2 draw. Goes to extra time. One of those classic cup finals. And we're going to lock in Portland. What are they plus a half? Portland plus a half, which is minus 190. We're going to lock in the over 2.5. Where's the correct score? See, they don't think there's going to be goals. I think there's guaranteed to be goals. Like, granted, Portland, back-to-back clean sheets in the playoffs, but they do give up goals. They've given up 52 on the year. And this is a battle between each team that finished 4th in each division. Like, each team has scored 56, but New York City FC, only 36 given up. Portland, giving up 52. New York City's going to get some goals. But Portland, they have to capitalize. Only 4 draws, 17 wins, 13 losses. Either they're winning or they're losing. Game's at 3 o'clock. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. 2-2 draw prediction. Where's that shit? Oh, that's all the way down. Nah, I passed it. Up there it is. Plus 1,300. G. Let's go. First goal scorer, Castellanos plus 350. It's the golden boot. It's only right. It's only right. So let's go. Over 2.5. Portland to cover. Correct score plus 1300. 2-2 draw. That's not bad odds at all. Maybe New York City FC gets it done, but I think it's going to be a hell of a game to watch. Now let's get into some boxing where we got Lomachenko versus Richard Comey tonight. Now, got Lomachenko, undisputed or bust. They're calling me Voldemort, made Nicholas. Oh, quit inside the ring. See? Says Loma. Yo, Loma is going to beat Comey. Now, I haven't really watched too many of Comey's fights, but Vasily Lomachenko, he's coming off a knockout victory. He did lose to Teofimo Lopez, but I think he's back with a vengeance. Maybe it was because of the long layoff, but I think Vasily Lomachenko, I think he comes out, he gets it done here. Where's the box rec? Always looking, see? That's what I always like looking at. You got Comey, who was just knocked out by Teofimo Lopez. That just shows he's able to get knocked out. Lomachenko, he was never going to get knocked out. He just got outclassed and outworked in that fight. But I think Lomachenko, I think he comes back. Granted, Comey, 27 knockouts out of his 30 wins, okay. But Lomachenko, 11 knockouts out of his 15 wins. Did lose twice. What was the early loss? Salido. Damn. Back in 2014, but after that, rattled off, 3 straight knockouts. And then just recently, knocked out a dude, 2021, knocked out a dude, Anthony Crolla. 2019, I remember that one. Jorge Linares. Pretty sure that was the body shot that put him down. That was 2018. I think he comes out. I think he gets this thing done. It's at MSG. I wish I could go, but you know how the vaccination bullshit goes. But a hell of a fight. We're going to actually take, if the live odds are there, you know how this shit goes. See? You can't even see added bets. Screen shaking because I'm trying to fucking press it. See? There's nothing more. From minus 1300, pretty much the same as Gervonta Davis. I'll take him by knockout. It's probably plus 3 to 400. Minus 3 to 400 odds. I think that's guaranteed to hit. But I'm really looking for the ill boxing event, right? Last time I went, pretty sure it was Broner, Gervonta Davis. There was some dogs out there. Come on. And I'm pretty sure that girl, Katie Taylor, maybe that's her name. She's nice. She was out there fighting. So, that's mad funny. Katie Taylor's fighting today too at 4. See? That's funny as hell. But it was actually at the Barclays Center. It wasn't at MSG. But I have been to MSG watching the UFC shit. Let's go. Headed to MSG watching the UFC. You know me. That boy. So UFC 269 tonight to finish off the show. Maybe we could get someone to call in. Probably not. These boys, they didn't even make their picks yesterday. Motherfucking slackers. But today, UFC, now this Poirier fight is shifting closer and closer. Poirier was just minus 160 yesterday. Now minus 130. Over under sitting at 1.5. Now for a title fight, I don't think Poirier gets an early knockout. But I think he does end up knocking him out or gets the win by decision. We're going to rock with Poirier here. It's going to be tough. If that man gets his back, but I don't think it's going to be as easy to take him down as obviously could be a whole different fucking animal. So I think Poirier, his takedown defense will probably be a little better versus Oliveira. I'm thinking Dustin Poirier, minus 130. And I think Over 1.5. I don't think it's gonna be an early knockout or finish. So I'm gonna take the over 1.5 also. Now this next fight, Jeff Neal, Ponzinibbio. Jeff Neal was plus 110. Now it's minus 110 even. I wish I got it in early, but sitting at minus 110, pretty fair exchange. But Ponzinibbio, he is a dog, bro. An absolute dog. This is one where I'd probably, if it was at 2.5, I'd take the under guaranteed. But sitting at 1.5, it still might hit. It's going to be an absolute banger. Jeff Neal, I rocked with him plus 110. We're going to rock with him minus 110 to get the victory. And we went 3-1 on last week's UFC. Let's go. Could we keep this trend up? Now, Kai Kara France taking on Cody Goblin. You know Goblin's fights are always going to end in knockout. Whether that's him getting knocked out or the next man getting knocked out. Kai Kara France, maybe he gets the knockout, but Goblin moving a flyweight. Does he get the job done here? I'm not sure. I think even though they're moving down, I think there'll still be a knockout in this fight. Under 2.5, sitting at minus 125. I'm gonna lock that in. And with Goblin, see, I can't really take a winner here. I fuck with Goblin heavy. Deadass. I followed him ever since he was starting off, right? Knocked out Thomas Almeida when he was like 22-1. Like, huge victories. But those battles with fucking Dillashaw, man, those are legendary. Those were some of the best UFC times. Now, it's not bad now, but that had to have been like the illest peak. But this fight here is going to be a banger. Under 2.5, guaranteed to hit. And Sugar Sean O'Malley, minus 310, Rulian Paiva. Come on. You know we're rocking with Sugar Sean. I was seeing the press conference yesterday. Is Sean overlooking his opponent? Or he's just so confident that he's a fucking animal? We watched Sugar Sean in that Contender Series. Watched him win that fight. And he said, welcome to the Sugar Show, as he's sitting on top of the fucking octagon, bro. Saying it to Dana White. Or I think just saying it in general. Right there, I knew he was going to be a star. Not the best performances lately. Did lose, right, to Vera. I'm pretty sure because he, like, broke his foot or some shit. But this is a fight where he's going to have to come out and dominate. Dana White did say you can't just feed him to the dogs already. He's a young cat, man. And I think he minus 310. It's a little crazy. He's gonna win, but it's a little crazy to add to the parlay, especially with fights. You never know how it's gonna go. Like versus Vera, I had a weird feeling about Vera, but I thought, all right, maybe he might just outwork him with his hands or whatever. But ended up breaking his foot. You never know what could happen in a fight game. Minus 310. I'm gonna rock with it because I've been watching him ever since the Contender Series. We rocked with him ever since. We're gonna lock him in again. Minus 310. Let's fucking go. And that's the UFC lock. We got another 4-piece for y'all. Well, in that main event, we took 2, but 4 fights we locked in on. And I wrote down a crazy little flyer here. Now, this flyer right here, I'm telling you right now. Let's go. Football futures plus 750. Who is it? Green Bay Packers to win the Super Bowl. Lock it in. I'm locking it in right now. Aaron, discount double check. Let's go. That boy's gonna be in the mix. I think with all the COVID and all that bullshit, that boy putting his toe piece on the fucking up in the camera, all that. Crazy at the press conference. I think it's meant to be. I think it's gonna be a Packers Patriots, honestly. And you already know who the division game's gonna be. It's gonna be Bucks Packers, NFC Championship for sure. And to win the conference, Packers plus 350. You know that's gonna be the conference game. You know it. But plus 750, I think the Packers, with all the shit leading up to the season, they're gonna get Bakhtiari back eventually. Come on. I'm locking them in early, plus 750. Let's go to win the Super Bowl. And I'm going to have to remember this. UFC 269, definitely going to remember that. So, to come back to the video, I think I went like 5-3. Pretty sure I went 5-3 on picks to win the group in the UCL. We'll go over that tomorrow. I got that notebook back inside. We running through shit. It's going to be a hell of a day. Let's go. Let's have a day. How's these other... See? Within 35 minutes, already 2 goals apiece in those games. Crazy. Man City versus Wolves. See, that's why we stayed away from that one. It's going to be sketchy. It's going to be sketchy for sure. So, that wraps it up, man. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out JB on the beat. JB got him. 65. 65. High Stakes Takes back again tomorrow. NFL Week 14. Let's go. Let's have a weekend. Right into fantasy playoffs. Let's go. UFC 269 tonight. Making picks. Franco. Solos picks. Let's go.